Game you can see behind me now is called CleanFall. I really like this. I ended up playing it for much longer than I intended to on my stream. It's this kind of side view, digging down sci-fi game. It's got a feel of a SteamWorld Dig or Terraria to it, but I really enjoyed this. The kind of economy of collecting items and then using them to build turrets and stuff like that, and just how strange and alien this world is. I found all of this really, really appealing. So here are some snippets of me playing it, and if it looks like the sort of thing that appeals to you, go and wishlist it, because I didn't really have much critical to say about this game. I think it's really neat. What if this AI knew that it had to fix the world in order to keep dust out of its house? What then? Nice setup. Interesting concept. E to use things. Ooh. Hold left button. Aim downwards. Okay, so when I press R, I'm shooting these rocks from my inventory. I've got some mining I can do. This is really nice. Press F to use Pathfinder. This is your Pathfinder's cooldown. The Pathfinder destroys structures directly under your thing. Ah, I see. Okay, right. I have to Pathfinder directly onto it like that. Got it. It's kind of giving sort of like SteamWorld Dig kind of vibes. Select a pop rock, throw it. Is that a pop? That's a monster fiber. I mean, it says bullet rock. Deploy the turrets. Okay. They go onto that frame, I guess. I love this sort of world of goo physics stuff that's happening when you place the towers on the thing. But my frame has fallen down with me, my little defense frame. There's a lot of things here to like. I think the illustration style really starts to come into its own once you've got all this lighting and stuff as well. Can you hear it, little one? At the cleaning bot there. History is standing in applause of you. Clapping loudly, wildly, its hands flapping faster and faster in acclamation. Don't make it stop clapping. Understand? Descend. Descend to the core. Activate the teleporter. And do not fail. We got a sort of quest giver that's also a villain. Hard to tell. Down the pit you go. Look at this lovely automobile. There is a lot going on here. Lots of flavour, yeah. Like the gameplay so far, it looks like it's going to be like a digging game where you, but then you're having to sort of build up a defense in some place as well. I don't think that's going to come with me, so we're going into the underground roguelikey bit. Remember, you're not powerful, not yet, so tread carefully. Certain denizens of the deep may be best left alone. It all depends on the arsenal you can gather. This sort of like digitally hand-drawn art style is interesting. It works, it's kind of consistent with itself. I do think maybe the text style doesn't quite match up with it. I think maybe you need a slightly wonkier font so that all of the style of the rest of the graphics makes a bit more sense. So we're going to descend into the pit. Got some wormies. What's that over there? Yeah, I love how strong the world building is in this. So one of the reasons I never got into Terraria, which is like a similar game, I guess, was just it felt so vanilla. I get it. If you're making a game where people are supposed to survive and build, you maybe want it to feel a bit generic so people can kind of roleplay the world the way they want to in it. But this has such a strong sense of the kind of world it's trying to create. Hello. What are you? What are you? What's the pathfinding again? That's a great mechanic. That's really satisfying. I guess this is supposed to be like petrified wood or something, it looks like. But it's harder to break through than the mud. With the mud, you sort of just easily take a big chunk out of, but this goes through it really slowly. But yeah, so it's sort of like, what if Terraria was vibes? There's my little bulb turret. It's going to help me clear the area. Got some monster froggies down here. Most items you can use as projectiles. Yeah, they just... Most of these items change the way that your gun fires. So look, I've got a light bulb. Ah, so those... Ah! Worm gun. Yeah, the sounds are nice. Everything is really responsive in terms of sounds, but none of the sounds are like really intrusive either. You do lose a whole life when you get hit, so it's very unforgiving in that regard. It's kind of like Spelunky or something. We're going to get a drone. How do they work? It's got a tiny little face on, if you can see that. That's very cute. The mix of things being a bit creepy and a bit cute and all of these things together is really nice. Let's throw a fart pod down there. Look at all those froggies. Yeah, I love these kind of like deep time sci-fi settings where something is maybe on Earth, but it's so far in the future that everything is so evolved and mutated that it's unrecognizable. Vine wake boots. What do they do? So that's got a little green highlight that I think means it's like a permanent thing that I always have now. Ah! I've been able to get quite far just by fooling around, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in a game like this. Maybe I just lucked out. Okay, so this place is basically too tough for me to mine. I can't do anything from in here. And I just respawned in this weird little brain sack. And I can't get out. Because so I died, I turned into a ghost, and then when I respawned I'd sort of gone through the wall. I think I might need to self-destruct here. I'm going to give that one more run. I really like her little skip that she does. Okay, so there are things here that you can unlock by getting really deep into the main game. I think the only comment I really have about this art style is sometimes we have these very thick black lines on things that maybe don't need it. And I would maybe try and differentiate interactive stuff from decorative stuff a little bit more. Like these trees, right? This tree is not a solid object. So I look at that, visually my brain processes it as a solid object and says you can't walk through that. If I go here, it gets out of the way, right? So I think you could pre-message that by just making any object that's not a passable, interactable thing, mellowing out the line work. So we've got dark green lines here instead of black or something. I'm not sure. It's the sort of thing to think about when you're doing visual design in any sort of game, whether it's hand-drawn or pixel art. It's like, what do things like line work communicate? Look at these wormies. See, they're another prime example. If they are decorative and they're not really a gameplay thing, then I would give them like brown outlines rather than black outlines. Just because it helps to give the players like a mental guide of what is more or less important to what they're trying to do. The style of everything, like the animations on all these creatures and everything is really, really lovely. I can boop these around. I do love these kind of ecosystem games. It's so much more interesting to have a weird alien world where it's not like, oh, it's a slime and then it's a skeleton and stuff like that, because every new creature I encounter in this, I'm just like, what the hell is that? This is like some sort of alien octopus thing that's jumping around. I think if I push that into stuff, I can hurt things with it. There's an interesting link there between the kind of type of world building you do and the relationship to sort of puzzling things out or exploration or whatever. Because if you have a very alien world like this, it means you have to be quite cautious. Like, you come across things and you're like, okay, I can look at that, sort of have an idea of how it might behave, but so much of this stuff is so strange that, yeah, you really have to study the things to work out what they're going to do. This guy is walking down there. These little propeller things. I can boom them into things and then they... Okay, that's cool. Oh, I want to get near one of those big pink things and sort of push it around with me and use it to hurt other things. Whoa! Being able to phase through walls into places where you can't do anything is a bit of a bummer, but I struggle to find anything else about this that doesn't work for me. Ah! Missed the chest. You wouldn't want to do controller implementation for this, because being able to go over to this bar and have the world slow down while you pick your next item, pretty important. But I think it will need controller support because people will want to play this with a controller. Oh, I didn't get to nuke him. The way that character fires is really the way that character fires is really difficult because it just immediately zaps you. Can't believe we didn't get to use the nuke. I quite like most of the sound design here, but I do think the digging one is maybe a bit of a problem. Because it sort of sounds like a disappointment noise or an error noise when you're digging. I think the digging should feel a bit more satisfying because it's very repetitive action of doing a lot of... Also, if I'm holding it down like this, the way it's sort of like tick based, isn't it? The digging, but I can hold the right button down and it just kind of carries on digging. It makes me feel a bit more like it should be a bit more gradual, like the blowtorch in Worms. Boomer game reference alert. Ooh. Accidentally dropped my flame turret. Let's push it. Oh, is it attached to that? Have I put a turret on one of these balls? Yeah. Let's do more. Let's do more. Oh no, those things are going to blow up on me. Ah! Right, and then I had a wall before. Can I connect these with a wall? Maybe my wall is gone now. So it takes a while to realize, but this is sort of the game, this part of like building these World of Goo style interconnected things and drifting around on them, I think is actually the main thing that the game is about. But it takes a while to get to the point where you can really do that consistently, because you need to link them together with turrets. The turrets are quite they die quite easily. I just don't think eyeballs should be in rocks. It's not my favourite. Oh, that doesn't go through that. Now we've got some sort of creatures that go through the rock, which I can't say I approve of. They're like burrowing squids. So there's some interesting stuff going on here with difficulty and visibility, where we've got lots of red and black on red and black here. And this is the kind of thing that's bad for doing in very early in a game. But because we're in the second area, and the game is supposed to be more hard, it's kind of okay for it to be lower visibility. Like I always use the example of, like in games like Hades and Binding of Isaac, they always make the first area have like a really good color contrast. So if you've got like a red character start in a green or blue area or whatever, and then later on, if you want to put your red character in a red area, it doesn't matter because people know how to play the game by then. Making it hard for them to see can then be like a fun thing because they're invested in playing the game. But you don't want it to be hard to see right at the start. Ugh. Oh, that's a special chest. We haven't seen one of those before. I think that game feels very, very close to being finished. I think the mining sound was a bit irritating after a while. I think some of the text choices didn't match the game, but I really like that from a gameplay point of view and a world building point of view. And yeah, you can see here in the screen grab what I was talking about of like, they want you to get to this point where you are roping together loads of things and sticking turrets on them. And like making these monstrosities that sort of drift down the well of all of these blobs stuck together with all of these turrets on, drifting down and blowing stuff up. And I would love to play that game till it gets to that point where you can do that, but there just wasn't enough time with it today.